Greetings of peace, love, and light. I am here in the Light Body Sanctuary, and my name is Godis Nanu. Today, I want to talk to you about the spirit of religiosity. Now, a lot of people talk about people being religious or being controlled by the spirit of religiosity. Now, the spirit of religiosity goes beyond just practicing religion. There's nothing wrong with practicing religion. But every religion or spiritual system, it doesn't matter what it is you practice, you can be susceptible to the spirit of religiosity. And I want to talk a little bit about this today so that we can operate in a way that is liberated and free and truly walking in oneness with our Creator or in the Spirit. Some people like say in the Spirit. Okay. What does that mean to be walking in the Spirit? You are walking in oneness with your Creator or God. Okay. Doesn't matter. The terminology doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Now, the way the spirit of religiosity comes in is that people will practice the religion but still have no connection, relationship with the Creator. They can still be spiritually dead or spiritually asleep, um, just not spiritually aware and not spiritually in tune. And this is a problem because when someone successfully practices religion or practices any type of routine or ritual that is considered to be beneficial spiritually, when they have certain practices in place, sometimes people can get caught up in the practice or going through the motion of a thing rather than really getting the benefits, really living a life that demonstrates what it is that they're supposed to be practicing. Okay. So, whenever you're practicing something and you don't apply it to your life, it does not help you when it's supposed to be helping you in certain situations, and you're not applying it, you're not living it. You're just going through the motion, the rituals. That is due to the spirit of religiosity operating in your life. And I want to help you to be free of this entity from controlling you and blocking you from your blessings and from your spiritual growth. Now, it doesn't matter how spiritual you think you are, you can get caught up in the spirit of religiosity. The moment that you are doing something for the sake of doing it, you may be getting caught up in the spirit of religiosity. The moment that you are not operating in the spirit or in oneness with your Creator, but you are doing something that you claim to be spiritual, you are operating in the spirit of religiosity. The moment that this spirit does work hand in hand with the spirit of legalism, which I talked about in my previous videos. So they kind of do overlap just a little bit. So the moment you get caught up in rules of what you think is required for you to be spiritual, okay? And those rules are more important than what's actually in your heart and actually walking in oneness with your creator, you are under the influence of the spirit of religiosity. And I want you to be free. Okay. Now, this can affect anyone, anytime, anywhere. You don't have to be somebody who is a part of a mainstream religion. Sometimes people take alternate paths, and they think because they took an alternate path that they can't be getting caught up in the spirit of religiosity. The spirit of religiosity will have you wearing symbols, okay, that represent something, okay, and that something that it represents, you are not operating in that in your life. Let's say, let's take it to wearing the ankh. There's lots of people who wear ankhs, and they may or may not understand what the ankh represents is the balance between the masculine and feminine. I have seen plenty of people wear ankhs and still be very misogynistic, very uphold patriarchy, um, or even uphold matriarchy and not a balanced matriarchy, but are very hateful towards the opposite gender. Okay, and that is operating in the spirit of religiosity. Okay, that's one form of it. Or a lot of people walk around with crosses, they'll get crosses tattooed on their body, even though that is not biblically sound. I mean, if you say that's the religion that you practice, and then you go and get a tattoo, which clearly in the spiritual text for that religion it says to not engrave on your body, then I mean, that don't really make sense. But people do it. This is operating in the spirit of religiosity, okay? When you're claiming to be something and in your heart you're really not, okay? It's really not real for you, okay? You're just going through the motions. That's what I'm talking about, going through the motions. You going to church every Sunday. You singing on the choir. You serving in this. You serving in that. You doing all the things. But you are not growing spiritually. You are not truly connecting with God's spirit. I mean, nothing is happening for you. Okay? This is operating in the spirit of religiosity. You are going to, whatever temple you go to. You're going to the temple weekly. You going to the masjid every Friday for prayer, and you're doing your 5 prayers a day, and all of the things. But you're not living a life. You still smoking weed on Saturday morning. After you came from the masjid Friday night. You high and drinking, or what I'm saying, you just not living a life. You're just going through the motions. And sometimes people can also still be caught up in the spirit of religiosity as well as self-righteousness. So don't get me wrong, I'm not judging anybody. But if you are not living, like truly living from your heart, what it is you claim to be and claim to represent, and you're going through the motions of doing these things, then you are religious, okay? And you are operating the spirit of religiosity, okay? And you may not, at the core of your being and spiritually, even be what it is you're claiming to be, because you are not truly walking that life. Okay? You might be practicing, practicing means you got to put something in motion, right? So you may even be practicing it. Maybe so. But a lot of times people just caught up in the rituals, caught up in the symbols, where you seem like you fit in with this particular group because you're doing all the quote unquote things that are considered to be what that group of people does. But you are missing out on all of the fruits, all of the nuggets. You are missing out on all of the benefits, all of the blessings, and what should be the result of practicing the spiritual discipline of that religion. That is the spirit of religiosity. And I want you to be free. Okay? And that is all my time for this video. Stay tuned for the next one as I expound on these concepts. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. Please make sure you share this video, like it, comment on it. Please comment. I love to hear your voice, what you have to say. And please share it. Share, 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 share. So that this can be in the algorithm. Reposted, reposted. Okay? Thank you. Peace, love.